This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, then let's continue. Okay, so anyone try to configure the cloud connector setup?
No, Chandra, we'll do it today.
No, okay. Okay, then so let's discuss about the PGP encryption. Okay, the PGP encryption, and also let's discuss about the number range concept as well. Okay, number range PGP encryption. Okay, then we'll complete this in a content modifier topic and also PGP one. Okay, so here let me share my screen. So, hope you are able to see my screen, right? So let's complete the number range concept first, okay? Then we'll go for this PGP encryption and decryption, okay? So see, number ranges means like in CPI, in cloud platform integration, okay, number ranges is nothing but so the sequence number will maintain from CPI side. Sequence number. The source will not provide any sequence number. We have to provide that sequence number from CPI side for target file name or while you are sending data to target if any of the field requires that particular value. Okay, such cases you will use that particular number range value. So that will be defined in the monitoring page. Will be reading via message map. We'll be reading via content modifier. Okay, so see here, this is the number ranges objects. So here you can see you can create a number range here. So for example, let's take, so before configuring it, let me take one simple example. Okay, so here I had an system, the target system, mm, source and target, SAP CPI. So target. So source, SAP CP and target. So when you are sending data from the source to target, so see you have to maintain the sequence number from CPI set. Okay, have to maintain the sequence number from CPI set. That means like whenever. So for example, so receiver is SFTP server. So along with, for example, if you are processing invoices. So if you are processing invoice, okay. So the sequence number invoice one. Okay, dot XML. Okay, whenever the second invoice came, so invoice 2 dot XML. Whenever the third invoice come, invoice 3 dot XML. Okay, so next, so like this, you have to maintain the sequence of this particular values. Okay, sequence of this particular value. How you can do this? So how you can uh, add the sequence for these all messages. Okay, how you can add this sequence, so for that, so you can, or else if you had any of the invoice is processing in the system. Okay, if any of the invoice is processing in the system, so if you want to, the maintain that particular sequence number for the any of the field, okay, at the globally for all the invoices which is processing. So such cases, so for example, let's take a one of the sequence number, for example, sequence number. Okay, so for example, 00001. Okay, like this. If you are maintaining this sequence number, if you want to maintain like this, so such cases also you can use this particular number range value. Okay, so let's create this number range, so and try to access this in the content modifier. Okay, so here what I'm trying to do is, let's take a file name, file number. Okay, file number. Okay, file number. So let's take this as a file number. Think it not accept spaces. So description, you can maintain a description. So here I'm taking a minimum value as 0, maximum value as double nine. I mean 99,999. If you want, you can keep more than this as well. There is no issue. The fixed length is, so if you want to just digit only the first number as a 1. If you maintain fixed length as 0, so then it will just simply provide 1. If you maintain as a 5 characters, so when it is returning the value, the number range object is returning the value, it will return something like this. Okay, so like 0001, 00002, 00003. So like this, it will return the value and proceed to target. Okay, rotate means whenever it is reaching maximum value, it will again, if I select this option, whenever, for example, if you have processed 99,999 messages, so it's reached maximum value. Okay, such cases, it simply get back to the first minimum value and rotate from there. So if you are not selecting this option, it will throw an exception. It's reached maximum value, something like that. It will throw an exception. Okay, I just created this particular number range, range. So now let's try to use this. Okay, or also see here, this is a file number. Okay, so let's go and configure this in CP. I mean, monitoring phase here. I mean, in the configuration level. So how to read this number range? So in the content modifier, we had a one of the option. So let me edit this. Refresh this one. It's not responding. So let me edit this and click on S. Here you can see, let me add here. So integration flow if underscore nr underscore test number range object test, add and open in editor. So here you can see this. So this is the content modifier. Okay, so in the content modifier, what you have to do is, so here we have a message header or property, anything is fine. So I'm reading from the property. So here you can see number range value. Okay, number range. So see here, so I'm taking as a sequence number in the property. The source value will be the property name here. This is the file name. Okay, so like this you can just save it. So then what will happen is, whenever this particular interface is called, okay, immediately this content modifier will read this particular next value. It will automatically increase the next value. So see, once it is read, so the next value will be 2. Second time it will get a 2 value. Third time it will get third value. Fourth time it will get fourth value. So like this, the file will be, the file name will be generated at the target. Okay, let's read this data at the receiver side. Okay, so let's check my cloud connector is working or not. If it is working fine, then I can use the same details here, and I can, so let's go to this. So it's reachable, my server is up and running. So let's use this particular system to connect. Okay, so just SFTP server. So here the target is this one. Okay, so here target is this one. Okay, so I'm using basic authentication, username and password. I'm not sure what is the password I have created for this. Let me check once. Security material SFTP underscore CC underscore test. Okay, so this is done. So directory, let's take a slash inbound. Okay, inbound, and file name I'm taking as, okay, so file name I'm taking as invoice underscore dollar curly brace. So what is the number, sequence number, right? The property which we created, sequence number dot xst property dot sequence number dot xml. Okay, so like this you can create it. Okay, so this is done. So now processing just it's an override, so that the option is there. So let's take this file from the source. So here HTTPS I'm taking slash nr underscore test. Okay, so let me save this and deploy this. So meanwhile, let me open this particular server details. It's saying reachable, but let me check. Maybe this is for this server. Excuse me. I'm just checking the status of the on-premises systems both. Just give me a couple of minutes. 104. 168.1.101. Okay, it's not reachable. Let me stop this. Okay. Why the IP address is changed now? So yesterday it's a 104. If you see here, it's a 101 now. 192.168.101. Let me change for the second one. Let's see it's working or not. Yes, now it's reachable. We are safe now. Okay, so now it's reachable. Okay, so the server is running and we are able to reach. Okay, let's process this data now. Okay, just check the file name, how it will be generating at the target set. Okay, so I'm reading the number range value here. So the property dot sequence number dot xml. Okay, so now this is saved. It's deployed anyway. Let's go and take this particular endpoint URL. Let's go to Postman here. And post operation and authorization I'm taking as a basic, and the body I can take it as a, you can take invoice payload, any of the invoice payload, because we are processing invoice, right? You can just keep this invoice payload here. So if I send it, Why internal server error? Let me check once. HTTP response exception and internal server MPL ID. What is this error? Then let me check once. Call activity while connecting to the target. Yeah, internal server error occurred while getting next value from the number range object. Cannot get current value from the sequence file name. Why it is failing at the number range value here? Let me check once. So length is 5, file number, right? What is the name we have configured here? File number sequence. I selected as number range only, a sequence number. Why it is unable to read this value? We have only one, we have a way, only this way only to read the number range value. Just checking what is this, why it is unable to read this value. The error occurred while getting the next value from the number range object. Cannot get current value from the sequence file number. Why? Okay, let me create a new number range object and try to read it. Okay, so maybe this particular number range is not a, so we have only this configuration, we don't have any other than this. Okay, so the number range will be configured like this only. Let's try one more time. Is there any, so it's throwing the same name. Maybe let me check, is there any spaces are there? No, there is no spaces. Here also there is no spaces. Let's create as a header. Maybe it will support only header, I'm not sure. So but it will support because in properties also they have given this source value as a number range, right? It should work. So that's the reason I prefer to go with this one. Okay, so let's try to configure it. Number range. Let me delete from this properties. So here let me make it as a header dot sequence num dot xml. It's weird. I'm just thinking why it is failing. Because it doesn't, it is straightforward configuration. There is no changes here, but not sure why it is not working. Let me trigger one more message now. Still getting this error. Let me check if it is throwing the same error. I have to debug this. The next value from the number range object cannot get current value from the sequence file number. Is there any issue with the naming convention? Okay, let's do one thing. File number is maybe the, just give me a second. So let's change this. I cannot change this. Let me create a new one. Okay, so nr underscore test, something like that. Okay, so one and triple nine. It's length as a 3. Okay, so now NR test value I'm taking here. I'm reading this value now, that is NR test. So let me save this and deploy. Let's check the deployment status. As it started, let me trigger the data again. Same service again, same error. Oh, now it's reaching to the next level. I can see it's reaching to the next level. Like it can read the data now. So anyway, see here the data is reaching there. So let me check what is the error. HTTP API XML HTTP response unknown host exception www.sftp-dev.co.co. Colon 23, right? Colon 22. Unknown host exception. I have to update the SSH key now. Okay, anyway, so it's a connectivity issue with SFTP server. Okay, so let me show you the how the number is reading here. Okay, so we have to upload the known host file there. Okay, so you can just check this particular value which we received from the source system. So earlier one message is processed after the content modifier, right? If you see here, so if I see this particular number range, so see the next value is increased to 2 here. Okay, so because it's content modifier, it access the number range value. Okay, content modifier is access the number range value. So let's take this example here. So what I can, okay, let's not to connect with any of the receiver. Okay, so let me save and deploy. Okay, so I'm just saving and deploying this artifact. So whenever I call this iflow, okay, so just simply it will simply just get this value, okay, in the header. So you can see in the headers the response also, I think so. See the sequence number as response headers, these are 002. Okay, so for example, if I trigger one more time, okay, you will get 003 now. So how many times you will call this iflow, that many times it will be increased automatically. So see next 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So see like this the sequence number will be increased. Okay, I'm not sure about the previous case why it is not file number. Maybe file number is an I mean like it's already using in some of the uh, predefined properties, I think so. That's the reason it is not accepting anyway. So it's working for NR test. Okay, so now you are able to see this the value, the sequencing, we are able to access it. So any guess? So see, I would like to pass this value to one of the field in this particular sequence. I mean, in the message mapping, how I can access this property? Any idea? So we had a standard function to read the headers and properties. How I can add and send this value to the one of the field at the target side? Any guess from anyone? So I already explained that function in the message mapping. Hello. How to
Yeah,
read headers and properties in the message mapping? It will be there in node functions. Which function we can use to read headers and properties? Okay, just try from your end. So I just shown you this how to read the NR value into this property, right? Or header. Okay. So this header you can access in the message mapping and try to pass this value to one of the field at the target side.
get header, right, Chandra?
Yes, get header or get property function you can use. You can take a constant. That constant you can keep this value of this particular header or property value. So based on that, it will read and send that value to the target. Okay, so if you are connecting with target, you can directly access this property or header in the target adapter configuration. It will work. Okay, so like this, the sequencing can be configured in CPI. So this number ranges will be configured in CPI. So if I refresh it, it will show 11 here. Next value is 11. Okay, so this is the way you will configure this number range object. So see in the source types. So is it we are missing any values here? So constant we discussed, expression we discussed, global value, local value, header and property and export number range we covered. Now in the content modifier, all the options we covered. Okay, so just try and recollect everything once. Okay, so if you have had any queries, you can just reach out to me. Okay, so I'm making as this completed content modifier and also this number range object as well. Okay, so for maintaining the sequence number, we will create this in CPI. Okay, this is done. So now let's discuss about this PGP encryption. Okay, PGP encryption. So what is this PGP encryption and why we are using this PGP encryption in CPI? What does mean by encryption and decryption and why you are using it? To add message level security. Okay, so to increase the message level security, we will use this particular PGP encryption and decryption. Okay, PGP encryption and decryption. So how we can how we will configure it? So see for example, mm, let me explain you in detail. Let me delete this. So for example, it's an sender any type of system. You can take any sender system. It might be HTTP, SFTP, whatever it is. Let's take a HTTP sender. Is they are sending some data to CPI. Let's say some payment file they are sending. Let's assume they are sending the payment file in XML format. Okay, so the target requires the data in encrypted format. As it is in a payment file, they requires in a encrypted format. Okay, for example, it might be SFTP or any server it is. Okay, so they require data in encrypted format. They will encrypt from there. Okay, I mean they will decrypt from there. CPA has to encrypt the data and send it to the target system. So here SAP CPA has to. So here SAP CPA has to encrypt this data and process it to target. Okay, so the sender will send the normal XML file. Okay, so now I have to encrypt the incoming payload. Okay, so the incoming payload to this particular PGP encrypted format. Okay, so here first I will get XML, right? So I will get XML file, so that I have to encrypt from my side. Okay, I have to encrypt this data and process it to target. Okay, it's any system I'm taking as RCVR. Okay, RCV or receiver system. Okay, so how I can encrypt and send the data? So what are all the details I required to encrypt this particular message? Okay, so here when you are sending encrypted data to the target system, the target system will generate PGP keys. PGP keys, PGP encryption, decryption keys. Okay, so keys that means like so one is public key, so another one is private key. So public key and private key. So see this system, this receiver system will generate this particular PGP keys. Okay, that will generate and I mean keep it in their own system. The public key will be shared to the, so I mean like who is encrypting the data. Okay, so the here SAP CPA is encrypting the data, right? The public key will be shared via email or via some, I mean external sources. They will share that public key to this particular sender system. That means the receiver system who are sending the encrypted I mean with whom you are sending this particular public, I mean this particular encrypted payload. Okay, so that the public key will be shared to that particular system. So what the SAP CPA will do is it will store this public key at the backend, while when you are sending the data to the target system by using this public key, it will encrypt this data. Okay, by using this particular public key, it will encrypt the data. After encryption, the encrypted data will be sending to this particular receiver system. Okay, so let's discuss. So this now we have a, so let's assume I have a public key now. So where to upload in CPI this public key? So in the monitoring page, if you observe, we have a PGP keys option here. Okay, so I already have this particular secret. Let me delete this. I don't want to use this one, so let me copy it and delete this here. Okay, so see here, so in, I mean, so these keys will not be created by us. So I mean, just you will get this from this target system. The public key you will get it from the target system. Okay, let me upload. I already have an public keys. So in my local system I generated. So here you can see the public keys option we had, right? So just click on browse option. So here in my desktop, so I had this particular PGP public key option here. So I'm uploading this PGP key. So in real time you will get this from the target system. Okay, in real time you will get this from the target system side. So they will just send this particular public key and you will upload into this particular PGP material. So see, just click on add. So see, this public keyring is added now. Okay, this public keyring is added now. So now what you have to do is, so you have to use this user ID for encrypting this data. Okay, you have to add this data for encrypting this data. So here, what you have to do is, um, this public key. Okay, so now we are just reading this data, right? So for example here, the encryptor. So in the security palette option, we have an encryptor option. There you can use this PGP encryptor. Okay, there you can use this PGP encryptor. So here let me delete this. So forgot about this number range configuration now. So just focus on this encryption now. Okay, so just now I uploaded this public key to encrypt the data. So PGP encryptor. So the processing I'm configuring as, okay, the processing. So see, these which type of signature they are using: the content encryption algorithm, security key length, compression algorithm, and also R mode, and also these all details you will get it who is providing this particular PGP key. Okay, so based on that we will configure this encryptor configuration. So based on the default configuration, this particular PGP key which we uploaded, based on the PGP so you no need to change anything. So I just uploaded this public key, right? So here you can keep this user ID here. Okay, you can keep this user ID here. Okay, so just user ID means like, so the, I mean like, I just uploaded this public key, right? So this public key I have used here. So now let me save this. Okay, so now if I pass any data to this PGP encryptor, any type of data, it might be XML, JSON, or plain text, whatever it is, it will be encrypted by using this public key. Okay, so now let's pass this invoice data, for example. Okay, so invoice data, so here it might be any format, it will support all the formats. So see, I have placed this invoice data, and if I execute it, this particular PGP encryptor will automatically encrypt the data. Okay, will automatically encrypt the data by using that public key and process it to target. So here you can see this. So see, this is the body. Okay, this is the body. So what is the advantage? So see here, this is in the encrypted format. You may had a query, sir, what is the advantage of this particular encryption and decryption? So see, for example, so while we are sending data to target system, it might be if the packets are hacked by some of the hackers, so they cannot encrypt it without their private key. Okay, without their private key. So that is the reason we will use these encryption and decryption methods. Okay, that is the reason we will use this encryption and decryption methods. Okay, so this encryption, so see now if the someone is hacked this, so they cannot encrypt this data without private key. So see, CPI has a encrypted in this particular, so this is called the message level security. That means like while you are transforming the data, you are adding this security here. So that means at the message level you are adding this particular security. Even some of the hackers are hacked this packet, so the data, they cannot encrypt it, and what data inside of it they cannot show without this particular public key. They require this public key to decrypt it. Okay, so they require this public key to decrypt this particular payload. Okay, so how you can do this now? So how you can do this? So now let's discuss now. So see, this is a encrypt, and this is encryption. So now everyone clear? So once we use send the data to target system, this payload will be decrypted by the target system by using the private key. So clear everyone on the encryption part? If you are clear, then I will go for decryption part now.
So Chandra, from where will be getting this file name?
File name, user ID, right? You are saying here, so this one, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So this one, so once you upload here, you will get this user ID automatically here. You don't need to maintain this user ID manually. Once you upload this PGP keys here, so you will get this value automatically. So this you will copy and maintain in this particular user ID.
Okay.
Clear everyone? Any other queries from anyone? So in real time we will not generate these keys, so you will get it from the target system. Okay, so now let's discuss about decryption part. Okay, so now forget about the receiver now. Okay, so now what you have to focus here is in the sender side now. Okay, so sender side. So see, sender will send a decrypted payload here. Okay, so decrypted, so see, let's explain here itself. So here the sender will send the data in the decryption format. Like encrypted format, sorry, encrypted format that you have to decrypt from CPA side. So how it will work? So see here in this case, you will use a decryptor. You will use decryptor. Where like decrypting the data. So see here PGP decryptor. Okay, this is the PGP decryptor. So see, I already have an encrypted payload. That's the reason I keep it in the notepad. Okay, so this is the encrypted payload. So now the sender is sending this encrypted payload. That means sender system will encrypt. So that means so for based on the earlier example. Okay, earlier example. So now see here, the CPI requires the data in the form of encryption. So now CPI has to share their public certificates to the sender system. Okay, public certificates to the sender system. So how it will work is, so let me show you. So here the CPI will generate two certificates. Okay, one is public key, another one is private key. Okay, so the CPI will create. CPI will create a public key and private key. So now the CPI has their own public keys and private keys, and this public key of this particular CPI system will be shared to this particular system, sender system. Okay, public key. So now whenever the HTTP sender system is sending the data to CPI system, by using this public key, they will decrypt the data and process it to this particular CPI system. Okay, so they will decrypt the data and process it to this particular CPI system. Okay, so how they will decrypt it? So see, I mean, like we are I mean, how the CPA will decrypt it is, so here by using this decryptor. So here we have to use this particular private key now. So the private key, so see, each system has only one private key. Okay, so like I mean, like a development has one private key, so each SAP CPA system contains only private key, only one private key, sorry. So currently I'm deleting this public key, I don't require this now. Okay, so let's go here, go there, and so just let me click on delete. Okay, so now I have a private key as well in my local machine. So I'm adding a secret key. Private key is nothing but a secret key. So just I'm browsing this private key here. So this is the private key which I'm using now. So this private key is added, so it will ask for a password as well. So I have my own password. So I'm just typing here and just click on add. So now this private key is added. Okay, so now, and it is valid as well. Okay, so now here in the private key you don't need to access any of the things here. So see here, these all are optional, so some you will get these options, but you don't need to configure anything while you are decrypting, because the each system having only one private key. Okay, it will automatically read this private key and just do the decryption. So here this is the stop option. So here let's just send this particular encrypted data to this particular decryptor. Okay, so see, these both are in a sync. The private key and private public key is in a sync mode. So if I use some other private key to accept it, it will not work because it is in a encrypted with our public key only. So see, now this PGP decryptor is trying to decrypt the message which is getting in the encrypted format from the source system. So here the simulation is successful. The sender is sent this encrypted payload in this format. So here you can see this. This is the body. So this is the PGP one. So here the target side. This is the body. You can see this. So see, it is encrypted by this particular private key. Okay. So like this, the public key. I mean, public key will encrypt the data. The private key will decrypt it. Clear? So this is the way we will use this encryption and decryption. So we also had, so I mean, this is a PGP encryption and decryption. So but when it is comes to this PKCS7 decryptor, PKCS7 encryptor, it's when you are connecting with the banking application, you will use that encryptor. We cannot generate that PGP keys in real time. Okay, so with this, so you can just ignore it. Just I mean, if you are good with the PGP decryptor and encryptor, if you get a public key and private key, you can use that as well. So the signer and verifier, so we don't have option to, I mean, we cannot generate it. So while you're sending the data, you have to sign and it will be verified at the target system. Okay, like this, if you are receiving the data, if you want to verify it, you will use verifier. Okay, so like this. So this is the way we will use this security. These all are for message level security. Message level means so the, I mean, inside of them, I mean, whatever the data we are getting in the body, in the payload, so the payload will be encrypted. Even the hackers hack this packet, they cannot able to read the data because this is just an encrypted payload. Without this private key, they cannot decrypt it. Okay, so this is the way we will use this PGP encryption and decryption at the message level security. So any queries from anyone? So you may had a query how to practice this from your side. Okay, so I will show you one block. So they will guide you like so see how to generate this particular. So you have to install one of the software. Okay, so that is a Cleopatra. Okay, Cleopatra is one of the software. So this is the software. Okay, so here from here you can generate this particular certificate. I mean certificates. Okay, so let me search for it. So PGP encryption in CPI. So here you can see this is the community.sap.com. Okay, so here they will just so new pair. So this is the Cleopatra. Just after installing it, so generate PGP keys using the Cleopatra software. So just they will provide these steps. So just follow this. So just select this algorithm. So see, I just explained you, right. So this is the I mean, these all are related, I mean, based on the CPI default configuration, it this particular a key is generated. So you select a GSA and you select this particular value till you can maintain 2 to 3 years. So based on that, you can provide the password. Then you can just download this particular interviewer. So export option is there. So then it will download into your local machine. Okay, so just follow these steps. Okay, so then you will get this particular option. So here they will also provide these steps here. So pg public key, and like this you can upload here. So it's an old I mean, like it's in 2022, it's 3 years back one. So but the config, the UI of the Cleopatra will be different, but the concepts are same. Okay, just try to configure it. I will ping this particular endpoint URL with you. You just generate from your side. Okay, so now let me ping you this. If you are not able to generate, definitely you will get an error. Okay, so if you are not able to, I mean, because it's an old tool, right? So maybe you will get an error. So that's the reason I'm using this pgp, old pgp case. Okay, so but try from your end. So if it is working, then fine. So if not, I will share the public key. You can at least encrypt the data by using public key. Public key can share to any of the members, there is no issue. But private key is a private for this particular SAP CPS system. Okay, so this is the way you can just use this particular number range object and also this PGP encryption and decryption. So everyone clear on this part? So there's a message level security, we are done. So along with this message level security, so we can also go with encryption and decryption. Sorry. This is a encryptor, decryptor, right? So we have encoders and decoders. If you see in CPI, we have encoders and decoders. So see, encoder means like a base 64 encoder. That means whatever the data I'm getting from the source, if I wanted to encrypt and send the data to target, I mean, sorry, encode and send the data to target. So this will also comes under, just we are encoding the data and they will decode by using this algorithm. It's a simple encoding and decoding, but I mean, compared to this, so this can be, so if they hack this particular encrypted data, they can easily decrypt it, because we have many online tools. Here you can see this. So this is, for example, this is the encoded payload. Okay, this is the, I mean, encoded payload. Okay, so if I click on decode, so you will get the output here. So whatever the data, so see, you got the actual payload. So just this is a encode and decode, but I mean, just for your understanding, if you want to add this encryptor, I mean encoder, then you can use it. Otherwise, you can directly go with, if you add a feasibility with PGP, you can go with those options. Otherwise, you can go for these encoders. So we have a different kind of encoders. So the same behavior. So like base 64, GZIP, MIME, ZIP. So with this encoders, you can just encode the data. So if you want to decode, we have a same option like a decoder here. So the base 64 decoder, GZIP decompression, and MIME multi-part decoder, and also this ZIP decompression. So with these options, you can just simply decode this. Okay, so this is the way the base 64 encoder and decoders will work. So this will also comes under this particular message level security. Okay, so this is about the message level security now, and also we are done with the PGP encryption and decryption, right? So let's maintain this is also as completed. Okay, so now this is done. So now let's discuss about the transport level security options. Okay, transport level security options. So if you remember, so like, and also certificate based communication. Okay, so here if you see this, so see, like when you're configuring, so see here, I'm not sure whom I mean which batch I explained. So if you remember, so for the Gmail, I have uploaded these certificates, right? So from where I have downloaded these certificates, anyone had any idea? For the Gmail, I have uploaded this certificate. So from where I have uploaded the certificate and how to do this? Any idea? You can download this. So for example, if you are connecting with any of the third party systems, okay, for example, you are connecting with GoRest application. So here now the SAP CPA is not requesting you to upload these certificates. Okay, when you are connecting with any of the HTTPS service from the CPI side, you have to upload the client certificates to the system. How to download the client certificates of this website is, you can download two ways. One is from the Google Chrome, another one is from CPA side. We have a connectivity test tab. So see, connectivity test tab. So here you can just so for example, if you are going for a HTTP means TLS, transport level security. So here what you will do is, so just you will provide this particular host name there. Okay, so let's download download this certificate fast. So see, this is the host. You have to provide only the host, you don't require HTTP and all. Okay, so see here, just click on send. So see, valid server certificate required, so it's valid one only, because I already have the certificates in the system. Okay, so this is the way it will work. So if you want to download this certificate, you can download, click on this download option, it will be downloaded this in the zip file. Okay, but how you can get it from the Google Chrome? Here also we have an option. If the CPI is not supporting, just click on this this particular secure symbol, and you can see connection is secure. Okay, you can select connection is secure, connection is valid. Just a second. Yeah. So here you can see, so like this you can just select this option and go to details here, and so you have to select this so here we have a three root certificates, like a root, intermediate, and client. So just click on export, just click on save here. Sorry, I'm back now. Okay, so here you can see this is the go rest. So this is the client certificate, and just click on export here. So then you can see this. So here it's already uploaded. So let me remove this. Okay, I deleted this. So see, I'm deleting, uploading in a desktop. Okay, so I'm just uploading in the desktop. So let me delete this as well. So here, let me save it. So see, it's already exist. You want to replace this? Yes, I just replaced it. You can upload the certificate either from downloaded from CPI, or you download it from this particular one. So just you can just go to key stores. Okay, key store. So currently it's not asking. So some websites will not be able to directly get this client certificate by CPI. It will just give some error. Okay, so 28. Okay, so just okay, so 26. So see here 26. Okay, so just browse. Okay, so now here what I'm trying to, so this is the desktop one, and this is the chorus.com, and click on open, and just click on add. So see, this certificate is uploaded, and this is valid till July 29th. Okay, so like this it will. So I mean, like how you can find this certificate is required is, while you're connecting with the servers at the target site. Okay, so it will throw an a certificate chain verifier exception. So such cases it will throw this error. Okay, so this is about the transport layer security and certificate based communication. Just you will upload the certificates to connect with the target applications. Okay, so this is about the certification, I mean certificate upload. Okay, so this is about the PGP encryption and message levels, I mean message level security and transport level security, and also the number range object reading. Okay, so in the tomorrow session, so it's very important. So I will explain about first the I mean so first my main focus on this externalization, I mean externalization of parameters. Okay, so in that we will also explain about the implementation project roles and responsibilities. Okay, so the implementation project roles and responsibilities. So there where we will use this externalization of parameters. So that will be configured like so externalization is nothing but a, so if you're already working on any of the programming language, we will create a property file, right? So if you are moving the file to this particular, I mean that code to development to quality, or quality to development, you will change the property file, right, to connect with the target and source applications. The same way the externalization will be worked in CP. It's an important. So I will introduce the why we have to move these objects from one object to, sorry, one environment to another environment, and each environment, what are the activities we will do, we will discuss in detail about this. Okay, so the externalization of parameters will also cover this consuming this prepackaged content as well. Okay, because all the prepackaged content you can directly they already externalized it, we can just configure it, then we can deploy this one. Okay, so this is about so see maximum max of the max. So see, this is the one topic, externalization of parameter one. So these three is on one day. Two, integration advisory, three, API M4, and these three, five, and JMS, and these message mapping, six. Within 7 days, within 1 week, we will complete this remaining concepts. Okay, so that means like you can max of the cases will be completing the course by the first week of August. Okay, max of the cases first week of the August. So please recollect all the just you just revision all the concepts which I explained. If you had any queries at any point of contact and any point of this particular configurations and also objects, so just reach out me, so we'll discuss again if you had any doubts in any of the topic. Okay, sorry.
Chandra, just it is not saved yesterday's and Saturday's class, Chandra. I checked yesterday.
I already informed to upload them. So just give me 1 hour, okay? So I will
Okay.
request them to upload, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, because it's not in my hand. Okay, I will check and I will update you,
Yeah,
okay?
ask them to mention the name also, right? The concept name.
Sure, sure, sure,
Yeah.
Srikanth. Any other queries from anyone?
Chandra.
So clear, Aditya, so that the value mapping is working for you? Value mapping, the one.
No,
Any issues there?
no, Chandra, not yet started. We'll start today.
Ah, okay, okay. So let me know if you struck anywhere, okay? Yeah. So any other queries from Sirisha, Silpa, Harsha, Harish, Praveen? Any queries?
No, Dinesh, as of now.
Okay. Okay then. So let's connect tomorrow. Okay. So we have only 1 week left. Okay. So just try to revision. All the concepts from your side. Okay. So if you struck anywhere, let me know. We'll discuss in detail. Okay. So thank you everyone. Let's connect tomorrow same time. Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.